Thank you, Sally. Great seeing you as always. Good evening. My name is Luis Roberto Clemente Zavala. We carry our second last name in honor to our mothers as a tradition. And I have to say, I have been blessed. I'm the second son of Roberto and Vera Zavala. And I've been traveling to Pittsburgh since I was only 6 months old. So I have witnessed the evolution of what Pittsburgh has become into. One of the biggest defenders you can ever find, whenever you would mention the word Pittsburgh many years ago, people would say, Pittsburgh? Immediately I would say, have you been there? Have you been there? And they're like, well, not really. I said, well, you have to be there. You definitely have to be there and understand what Pittsburgh is all about. It's about their people. It's about a place that embraces many different cultures. But growing up, I did not experience, bumping into someone who spoke my language here. So at the beginning, it was very rare to find someone anywhere speaking in Spanish in Pittsburgh. And as time went by little, Mom, actually, she had to go to Ohio to buy plátanos and stuff like that, to fix, what we used to eat in Puerto Rico for Dad. And so we grew up knowing and admiring and embracing the changes and the evolution of what Pittsburgh has become. And I got to tell you, people sometimes criticize the fact that Dad did not play in a larger city. And we say, you know what? He played where he was accepted that time. I'm sorry, but the Dodgers had a great loss because they had him first, and they did not secure him, so the Pirates acquired him. And, to him, he would never, ever play for another ball club. He felt so loyal to the city that he said it. He would never, ever. So 18 consecutive seasons, he gave his all to the city because he truly appreciated the fact he received that opportunity here. And he was a man who was very humble but very proud. He was an activist. He would talk about equality in such a way that nothing else was more important than that. And he did not put up with prejudice, and he would defend it against whomever. At the times where he was requested to stay in the back of a bus while the rest of the teammates would go into a restaurant, he would tell the rest of his teammates, those of you who will accept this and accept food from the restaurant where we're not accepted, we're going to go at it. They said, Roberto, but we're starving. We have to eat something. He says, I don't care one way or another. You have to have dignity. And if we're not good enough to be served in that restaurant, that food is not good enough to feed our soul. And he was very profound in everything he did. He was we're talking about diversity. His friends from this place, from Pittsburgh, included a family that were Jewish, the Kantrowitz family. Today, Richard Kantrowitz is still our accountant here in Squirrel Hill. It included the Garlands. It included, which were African American. They were like our grandparents. It included German, Nevin, Raut, Carolyn, the daughters. It included, people from everywhere. And tonight, we have some of those friends that are still part of our family. And Italian descendant, we have Mrs. Angie Gialloredo, Anthony, Lisa, her friend Pat. They're sitting on our table. Friends for many, many, many years, ever since I was born. And this is what we got from Pittsburgh. The people here are amazing. And I want to thank each and every one of you for embracing our family after the huge loss that we had. And I never really write a speech because I speak from the heart. Ron Alvarado, I thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight, because Ron heard me speak after a play that took place last year. And I thank you for bringing Gran Combo to Pittsburgh. They've been performing for 50 years. And I thank, Allegheny Conference and everyone involved with that, because that was amazing. Those guys, it was the first time here, and they experienced, and they came to me being very apologetic. It's amazing. I mean, I got to tell you, it's very amazing. They come to me very apologetic, and I'm asking, what happened? They says, you know what? I feel like Roberto was from Pittsburgh and not Puerto Rico. Okay? And, but Ron's heard me speaking after the play, and he told me that he asked me if I would accept to become a speaker tonight. I said, graciously, absolutely, I accept, and I thank you for that opportunity. But I thought that the message I would give to you, because a lot of people come to us and tell us anecdotes and feel that we're tired of listening, how that made an impact, or somehow, in whichever way, you became in touch with my father. And we love to hear as many anecdotes as possible, because that way we understand how, it's a reflection of how we act. And not having him, but imagine losing a family member, and you hear his name every single day. I'm sure everyone here has lost its part of life. You have lost someone, but probably you don't hear his name or her name every single day. On the radio as reference, if there's going to be a concert at the Roberto Clemente Coliseum or near the Roberto Clemente Avenue, or, the Roberto Clemente School, is constant. And I had to grow up kind of like disconnecting myself a little bit so I could cope with it later. And that's what brings me to today. I want to share with all of you were you all here and you heard about Clemente Day on Wednesday? We flew from Puerto Rico on Tuesday. So my mother, my brother, Roberto Enrique, his wife, Lorna, our friend also, Margarita, she's here from Puerto Rico for the first time, and I told her, wait till you get through the Fort Pitt Tunnel. Believe me, this is something you will never, ever forget in your life. Sure enough, we went through the tunnel, she's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And that's what I love, people that come here and experience that you don't know, because maybe you're used to it and you take it for granted, but it's the most incredible view after you leave the town, the tunnel. It's just amazing. I love every time I come through that tunnel. And Margarita is enjoying and loving Pittsburgh for the first time ever, so I'm happy that she's here with us. But I got to tell you, we got here Tuesday. Wednesday was Roberto Clemente Day. So what happens on Clemente Day? Every single Major League Baseball club nominates a player to become the runner-up, but he's a Roberto Clemente Award winner of the club. And from September 16 all throughout October, the fans, everyone and each one of you, can go to Chevy.com/Clemente and cast your vote on those 30 players. Obviously, I hope that you will all vote for Andrew McCutchen, right? So every team nominates a player, and still today, there are Roberto Clemente Days celebrated in those ballparks of the visiting teams that were not home on September 16th. So I got to tell you, it was incredible. That day was the best Clemente Day yet celebrated in Pittsburgh and anywhere. And it's due to the new commissioner. I have to really give him the accolades, because Mr. Rob Manfred, he's truly doing a huge, huge difference. But after the game was done, we went back. Mom was so into it. I was hoping they would capture her on camera, just like hitting, in the suite, she was just like hitting her hand and shouting, and I mean, really, I said, wow. You know, she said, you think we should leave? I said, I don't think we should leave. You know, we're going extra innings. And she really enjoyed it, but very first thing the next morning, we were on a plane to Washington, D.C. And here's what truly makes me proud about my family. Roberto Jr., Mom, and I got on the plane, and we went and met with several congressmen, because Puerto Rico's undergoing the worst reception right now. And there's not parity between what Puerto Rico receives in the Medicare and Medicaid. We're only receiving 75%, even though we're a United States territory. So we were lobbying, and the rest of the territories are receiving that 100%. So we were lobbying for that to take effect. And the huge difference was this congressman no longer was saying, let's see what we can do, but they were saying, what do we need to do? And we're going to make sure that this is taken care of. And, you know, that's what makes me very proud about my mother. Mom has been the pillar of the family. I always say whenever I speak that I'm very, very proud to be Roberto Clemente's son, but I feel extremely fortunate to be Vera Zavala's son as well. What took place afterwards, yesterday, we had other meetings at Congress. Then we went to the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian has a wall which is named Recognize. And they did this competition where they had 3 baseball players, and they opened it up for the general public to vote. The 3 names you recognize, it was Sandy Koufax, Babe Ruth, and Roberto Clemente. Sandy Koufax came out with close to 200-some votes. Babe Ruth, 300-some votes. Clemente, 1,400. So you can imagine how wonderful it is to experience that and be a part of that, you know. So we went there, we took some pictures, you know, photo ops and whatnot. And then when we left, I said, there's someone we should reach out to while we're here. Someone that very well be that everyone here knows. His name is Mr. Secretary Tom Vilsack. He's the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture Secretary. We leave a message. Within 5 minutes, he's replying the call. He calls us back, and we say hello, and we say, listen, we're here in Washington. We're leaving tonight. We happen to be with our mother, who you haven't met yet. He says, please say no more. You know, can you be here at 2? It was like 20 to 2. So we went straight to Tom Vilsack's office at the Department of Agriculture, and he told, you know, he welcomed us, received us, and he told us his story when he grew up and everything, and it was very inspiring. I'm not gonna say it because I think, and I remember this when I say this. We signed a contract with Thomas Tull, Legendary Films, to do 21. He did 42 for Jackie Robinson. So he's going to do 21. He's from Pittsburgh, huge fan, okay? The story Mr. Vilsack shared with us, I wanted to be part of that film, and I'm pretty sure I can put a little muscle to make that possible. He was telling us how he was in a game, and Dad hit like almost 14 foul balls. The pitch number 15, he hit a line drive home run out of the ballpark. The place went just crazy. Here comes Mr. Willie Stargell immediately after, and hits the longest home run in history, in all of the Three Rivers Stadium history. So that took away from Dad's moment. He says when the team went out again to take the field, everyone's like yelling, and, hey, Willie, Willie. But Tom himself says he yelled, way to go, Roberto! And then he says that Dad turns around and tipped his cap and kind of like thanking him for recognizing that what he did was of, you know, of value as well. He says, that marked me for life. I got to tell you, he has a jersey, a framed jersey of the Pirates, number 8. And you hear, and you can read to Tom, the true pirate, Willie Stargell? He says, yes, but what you don't see is on the back, it has a number 21. It was specially made, and it says Vilsack. And he says, and it's not a secret. When I die, I want to be buried wearing this jersey. So imagine that. When I heard about that, I said, I got to meet this guy. You know, that's an incredible story. So when we were done and we left his office, then, you know, later on we got on the plane and came back to Pittsburgh last night. And only to go and meet Mr. George Lopez, who was here in town. And we spent some time with him this morning at the Clemente Museum. Has everyone here gone to the Clemente Museum yet? All right. So, you know, George shed some tears when he was there. We bonded. I don't know if you all know, but more than likely, the Pirates are going to be playing the Marlins in May of 2016 in Puerto Rico. Okay? So start marking those dates, because immediately I told Frank Coonley, I said, Frank, if that's going to be the case, because we've been talking about this for quite some years, if it's finally happening, and I believe it is, well, the word got out anyways. It's going to have to happen. There's no other. I said, I would like to do a reunion of the 1960, 71, and 79 World Championship Pittsburgh Pirates teams to come to Puerto Rico. First time ever that would take place. We'll bring the commissioner. And I told George about this today. And I says, you know what? And I hear you're quite a golfer. I would do a golf tournament while we're down there at that. He says, do it, I'll host it, and you know what? We should do a concert. I'm going to talk to Mark Anthony to come down. Let's do a concert as well. So start planning. I'm telling you, start planning. It's going to be great, okay? I just want to tell you that it is great. It is always great to be back in Pittsburgh. We flew back to be here tonight. I get emotional sometimes. I've been trying not to right now, because we're also filming a documentary, and I already shed a lot of tears earlier today. You'll get to see it sometime. But it is very important to always thank the sponsors. You know, what you do, it's immense to support organizations such as the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce here in Pittsburgh, so those scholarships, you know, can take place. And everyone involved, you know, in this room, when I say everyone, is everyone. The people who have been serving, I would like to get a round of applause to them. I got really excited and happy when I saw Hamka. Is he still around? Where at? Oh, there he is. Hamka. We've been seeing him for many years that we have come to this hotel, and he's become our friend. And when I saw him, I stood up and I lit up. I gave him a big hug. And, I mean, it's great to see you always. All right? Okay. So another person I would like to mention, Susan Wagner, the sculptor who sculpted that, Mazeroski. You know, amazing, amazing talent. Ever since he has become part of the family, I put my glasses on because I don't want to, I had to write a few things, and those are names because I don't want to mix it up and say who they're not. But there's you know, new friends, old friends that we've made in many years. The Democratic Chair of Allegheny County, Nancy Mills, and her husband that are here as well. We have become very good friends. There's a guy, I'm not that good at Facebook, but there's a guy who has been sending me a lot of messages or whatever, or putting a lot of likes into whatever I post. And he approached me tonight. He's here. Alberto Benzaquén. Where are you? All right. So I say, oh, so that's you, finally. Okay, so we meet. Here's my number. We exchange numbers now, so now he's a new good friend as well. And it happens like that. You know, people from any, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your title. To me, everyone is the same. You have a title you earned. To me, what it means is that you earned a position, that you're capable of handling a position. But other than that, we're all equal. We're all equal. And everyone should be treated equally. Nobody should be thinking no one's better than anyone. And I can go on and on and on all night long telling you about incredible stories. But I just truly appreciate the opportunity I've had to talk to you tonight. And Ron, once again, thanks so much for this opportunity. I love everyone here. Once again, Luis Clemente, I'll be here for a good time in Pittsburgh. Thank you so much.